Time for some auricular delights now. And Simon Lucas has reviewed some large, pricey, but rather nice British stereo speakers for us. So what have you got, Simon?
The Monitor Audio Platinum range has always been the company's flagship range, and they recently released the third generation of the Platinum range, and the flagship speaker in that flagship range is the Platinum 300 3G. It's a large and imposing, profoundly capable floor standing loudspeaker, which you can acquire a pair of for about £11,000, I think.
The flagship speaker in the flagship range. That's a lot of
That's
putting the flags out. So
right.
does
Yeah.
it live up to that amount of flaggage, Simon?
Yeah, I mean, it's true to say, isn't it? The law of diminishing returns is at work with loudspeakers as surely as it is anywhere else in the hi-fi industry. But nevertheless, if you have the wherewithal and if you have a room large enough, because they do require a fairly large room to do their best, and if you are resolved to spend similarly impressive sums on the equipment that's driving them, then then it's quite easy to make a case for them, I think. They sound tremendous. They're really balanced and poised and powerful and insightful, subtle and muscular, and all of the positive terms that you want to apply to a pair of new loudspeakers, they do apply to these.
It is a lot of money for speakers. And on this show, we have featured some very traditional speakers, some very highly innovative speakers. Where would you put these on that range? Are we paying a lot of money for absolute craftsmanship in the traditional end, or a bit of innovation, or how do they work out?
Yeah, there is a bit of everything there. I mean, these are passive loudspeakers, and very little is new in the world of passive loudspeakers. Um, you're paying for some expert cabinet making. You can tell from the picture a little bit, I suppose, but they're well over a meter tall, and they're well over 50 kilos each. So once you've put them on their spikes, if it, in my house anyway, I put them on their spikes and I put them in their position, and over the course of a few days, they just gently drove themselves into the floor. And so they had to be sort of prized out again when I returned them to Monitor Audio. There's some very there's innovation within the technology. The technology itself, the broad technology, loudspeaker drivers and what have you, is the same as it ever was. But Monitor Audio have perfected these rigid diaphragm cones over time, and they basically have gone to lengths. They've applied themselves. They've spared apparently very little expense in specifying and constructing these speakers, and then lacquering them 7 times or whatever, so you can see your face in them, and your fingerprints. And the result, it's quite imposing as furniture. But as I said, these loudspeakers need a fair size of room in order to do their best anyway. And so, if you accept them as pieces of furniture, then they've got quite a lot going for them, I think.
So let's say that someone likes the sound of these speakers and it's a heck of an investment. You are not going to buy them without listening to them first. You are going to want to go and see them, touch them, listen to them, imagine them for your own listening experience. How many places are there where you can actually do that and go and experience speakers like this?
I don't know exactly how many places are stocking the this range, but there are some retailers, especially in the south of England, where their stock in trade is extremely expensive equipment. You may have to travel to hear them, but then it's like buying a Bentley or a Porsche. You can't just pop down the road, can you? You do have to make an effort to get to listen to these things.
Yeah, I never just pop down the road to buy my Bentley, Simon. No, I always make a special trip. And as for where you can hear them, I think we should throw a challenge out to the Sound Advice helpline. Because, hey, that's what it's for, isn't it? So if you want to find a pair of these speakers, get in touch with our helpline. And I'm sure the guys at Sound Advice will help you find them. And as for the review, I'm going to put a link to Simon's written review of these speakers underneath this video.